I'm hoping to get first week in October. It was meant to be going on 25th. Yes. I've got a funeral.
Okay. Oh, was that your uncle?
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Production Park. And quite frankly, what a wonderful venue to have our cabinet meeting. The welcome that we've had and the hospitality so far has been wonderful. But what a place and what an asset to this district Production Park really is. And sometimes I feel it's a hidden gem, and perhaps people don't know it's here out of the area. And I think now and again we need to come out into the area like today and see what is to be offered in this district. With so much to offer in this district, and this is one of our jewels. So it's really great to be at Production Park today, and I'm sure everybody will agree with me. It's fantastic. We've never been under stage lights before. It's quite something. So that's great. So we'll start the meeting. Apologies for absence. Councillor Cummings has another meeting. Can we approve the minutes of the 8th of August? Approve. Thank you. I don't think I have any more announcements to make. I made the announcement about Production Park, so we'll move on. We haven't any urgent items. Can I draw members' attention to declarations of interest? And I don't think we've anything to exclude the press here from, and it's great to see you here, travelling from Wakefield to come here, so it's great. So we'll go straight on to item 7, the capital programme update. This report, which can be found on agenda pages 3 to 18, informs Cabinet on delivery of the Council's capital programme as at the end of Q1, as well as an update on the Treasury management position. In addition, the report also confirms the Disabled Facilities Grant and School Condition Grant allocations for 23-24, which are 4.7 million and 2.7 million respectively. Table 3 on agenda page 6 provides a summary of the Council's capital programme at the end of Q1. In total, the 5-year programme is 395 million, with just under 127 million profiled for 23-24. The report provides further details on the makeup of the programme and its spent to date at the end of June. A useful summary, one-page summary, is attached on Appendix 1 on page 15. As set out at section 3.5 of the report on agenda page 9, due to a change in requirements from the Combined Authority, the project for Wakefield 1 will not proceed as per previous Cabinet approval, and as such 1.1 million is now recommended to be removed from the capital programme in relation to this. This report also seeks approval to dispose of an underutilised land asset, which is the West Riding site, and further details can be found at section 3.6 of the report on agenda page 10. Finally, 3.7 of the report, agenda item page 10, also provides an update on the 2 key actions relating to the relocation of Wakefield equipment and wheelchair services. The recommendations as presented at section 2 on agenda page 4. I move the report. Councillor Hemingway.
Thank you, Leader. Can I very much welcome this update and report. And we're seeing nearly £400 million of investment over the next few years go into our district on things like affordable homes, highways, active travel, and it's wonderful to see the council continue to invest in the district. So welcome the report, fully happy to support it, and let's keep investing in Wakefield and the 10 towns.
Thanks very much. Anyone else? Can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Item 8, a strategic acquisition for Castleford.
Thanks,
I'd like
Lee.
to hear about Castleford.
Thanks, Leader. So I think everyone knows by now that Wakefield and Castleford were successful in securing some towns fund money, 23.9 million for Castleford. In 3.1.4, it sets out some of the things that we're doing with that money. So transforming the riverside, which is super exciting to make it a real destination for family to visit. We're offering shop improvement grants on Segar Street, creating Henry Moore Square, the Heart of Castleford project. There's tons going on. This paper is with regards to acquiring property to make that happen. So a similar paper came to us in March 2023 to acquire properties, and this is another one of those. There is a commercially sensitive appendix on pink paper, so if anyone would like to ask questions or comment on that, we would have to exclude people from the meeting. But if not, I'd like Cabinet to approve the recommendations, which are to acquire the property on Bridge Street, and also to delegate authority to the Service Director for Property, Facilities, Health and Safety, and to the corporate landlord team, in conjunction with Les and myself, to negotiate a lease with the current tenants. So that would be to keep people in those properties for as long as possible, keep those buildings active and help for Castleford economy. So with that, I move the report. Happy to take any questions or comments on that report.
Councillor Shaw.
I think it's really good to see the project moving forward now. I think there's a real focus on what not only what needs to be done, but also what we are doing. I think it's bounced around long enough, and I'm really pleased that it's moving forward at pace. Thanks.
Councillor Hemingway.
Thank you, Leader. Yeah, I fully welcome this report as well, Councillor Graham. Thank you. And looking at agenda page 27, section 8.2, the public of Castleford want this to happen as well. They're really keen for this regeneration to happen in those specific areas. So it's right that we unlock this regeneration and fully support the acquisitions outlined in the report.
Councillor Moore.
As one of the public of Castleford, yes, Jack, it is out there that people do want to see this happen. I think, you know, what's happening down Bridge Street and Eyre Street, opening up the river, that is massive needed down there. We've turned us back on it for far too long, but by opening it up, that'll make it a massive destination point. We've seen so much work happening around there with the Gladwin project, already with the housing and the new cycleway, so I'm welcoming what's happening. It's very exciting, and the public of Castleford are really excited by this.
Yeah, and just to finish, I welcome this, and the people of Castleford have waited long enough to see something happen. The problem is with regen projects, they take longer than the public think. As soon as we make an announcement, people think it's going to happen next week, and it does take longer. But Michael, I'm really pleased that you've come with this paper today, and people in Castleford will really see now that things are progressing, and I'm really pleased that we brought this paper today. Thank you.
Thanks, Denise.
So with that, can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Thank you. Councillor Shaw.
Thank you. In proposing this report, following the approval of reports to Council and Cabinet on 21st of March 2023, we were asked to bring back an update on a regular basis on where all these particular things are going. Programme update. Overall, the work is progressing really well and at pace. I think we've just touched on a couple of things that you raised there, Leader, about pace. I know people like to see things moving forward, and it certainly is now. Award has now been made for FM services following periods of calling and voluntary standstill and positive mobilisation discussions. It was difficult. It wasn't difficult when you're always changing from one supplier to another and bringing in back under control, and I'm going to keep using that word, to the council. Then there's a lot of negotiation to be done. The council continues to work productively with the outgoing supplier. That's really important, that we continue to work with the outgoing supplier. A, because we're sending a message out to future suppliers right across the board, but B, it also affects people, such as TUPE, the unions, and that's it. And I can report that, as it said here, that there's a lot of work going on that stage. Important part, the schools framework services. A lot of work's been done with schools on the catering side, the cleaning side, and I'd like to thank YPO for the help that they've provided on both methodologies. It is moving forward, but I want to remind everybody about what's on 3.4. We did talk about what we really want to create when we create this new model, and that is control, flexibility, quality of service and demonstrable value for money. I can report that that focus on those 4 things is at the forefront of everything we do. So with that, I just move the report.
Thanks very much, Councillor Shaw. Any comments, any questions? Margaret?
Yes, just a comment, Leader. Thank you for all the extra work that's being done with the schools. That they're facing such a lot of disruption at the moment. The smoother this process is for them, the much better. And I know there's an awful lot of work being done. So thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? We all happy with the report? Yeah. We agree with that? Thank you very much. Item 10 is the corporate plan. And I'm pleased to share the third progress report with you today. Building a fairer future for everyone is very important to us. We've been clear in the plan about our priorities and what's important to our residents. You'll see from the update that we're on track with delivering the majority of our initiatives. But I still want to highlight that these are difficult and challenging times for us. We're really working really hard to manage our finances and resources. We're continuing to care for and safeguard people, families, children and young people and vulnerable adults. I would like to thank all our elected members and staff for all their hard work. And I also thank you, our partners. We could not deliver without the partners that we have across this district. And I would like to ask if any of the colleagues would like to comment on the progress report. Jack.
Thank you, Leader. Yeah, I think we're making significant progress in quite a few areas as the report shows. I mean, just speaking from my own portfolio of environment and climate change, if you look at what the Council's been doing in recent years, 100,000 trees planted as part of our White Rose Forest target. In terms of the street lighting PFI programme, working with Matthews area, we've saved 4,000 tonnes of carbon and £6 million on the LED street lighting programme. So we're taking big steps forward, but lots more work to come, whether it's EV charger rollout across the district, switching to electric vehicles, supporting residents that might need solar or better insulation if they're in fuel poverty. The Council's taking lots of proactive steps that will help district and help nature, and not just in my world, I'm sure there's many colleagues with other areas that want to report on.
Michael.
Yeah, Denise, I'd just like to mention, see on page 57, the Step Up programme that we launched a number of years ago now. And 4,000 residents supported. It's absolutely fantastic to improve job prospects, progression, skills and knowledge. And you've got 800 young people in there as well who have been helped. And I think it's timely to mention. Obviously, we've got Wilco's. The really sad news about that, and those people who are either going to be made redundant or not going to be in a job anymore. And that support is there for them as well. The council will be reaching out to people affected and trying to get them back in work and find them appropriate jobs. But please, if there's anyone out there who needs help with anything, please get in touch with the Step Up team. Fantastic group of people, and they'll help you in any way they can.
Matthew.
Yeah, just want to say some of our success stories within transportation. I think we've all seen the completion of Newton Bar over the last couple of weeks. That's completely transformed that area. Still a lot more work to do with planting, trees to go in there, but anybody that uses Newton Bar, I'm sure we're moving through there a lot more smooth and successful than we did before that. Also on public transport, hopefully in the next few weeks, couple of months, we'll be able to make some good announcements over increasing bus uses and new bus can't forget the word, new bus routes, thank you Jack, coming on board as well. So yeah, things are moving right way in public transport.
Michelle.
Well, it's fantastic to be able to share some of the things that we're doing in culture, leisure and sport. But firstly, I would like to say welcome to South Kirby from a South Kirby councillor. I would like to say welcome to sunny South Kirby, but you seem to fetch the rain with you. So welcome to what was sunny yesterday, South Kirby. It is wonderful to be in Production Park, and I look forward to working with everyone here on further development and looking at how we can better enhance things for local people here too. So some of the stuff that we've got going on over the next year is working with our partners to create and celebrate everything in our towns and villages that we have to offer, and in the year of creativity and culture. So we've got our year next year, which is going to be really exciting, and I can't wait to start sharing in depth some more of those plans that we've got. We've been awarded £750,000 from West Yorkshire Combined Authority to deliver that year of culture, and we are submitting funding bids to the lottery for 500k, which we expect to get a decision on shortly. We are so successful in securing funding, and we've successfully received £1 million investment from DCMS to create outdoor contemporary sculptures in the city centre, which help to develop that unique sense of place, encouraging visitors to come and visit our city and get engaged in all the culture there. I know they've been, if you've not been already, to go and have a look at the sculpture trail, you definitely should. You know, there are pieces of art that are for everybody and not for everybody, but ultimately there will always be a talking point, and it's fantastic to see what's there. Whilst I am here, I would just like to personally thank everyone that has and continues to work hard in delivering these programme of events. We have got a super packed year next year, and everybody's working all out to make sure that it is a wonderful celebration across us district. So with that, I'll pass it over.
Okay, anyone else?
I'll just briefly say, obviously, in my area, it's supporting a lot of the things that have been said round this table, and it's been difficult because we'll come on to it in one of the other reports about people, about securing people, about how people work for you, and I get the feeling, and that's how I open to colleagues, but I think it's important, I get the feeling now, as I've had for a long time, that all our officers, all our people that work for us, all the voluntary groups support us, and we support them, and there's a feeling out there that things are really moving forward on a number of things. And it's when you come to places like this, you really see the development that's happening in and around Wakefield. And we should also think about some of the issues that some of our colleague councils have got. And I think you've just said, Jack, the amount of money we're looking to invest in this district, because it's been managed well over the last few years, so we can look at supporting some of those things going forward. And I think sometimes we don't maybe push to the public what we are doing, and it's nice to see around this table that we're doing that now. So I think it's well done to certainly all our officers and certainly all our support groups, as well as the good work that all our politicians are doing.
Margaret.
Yeah, thank you, Leader. As a Cabinet Member for Children and Young People, we want all children across the district to have the best start in life and achieve maximum benefits for schooling and their wider lives, to have happy and fulfilling childhoods. We made some great progress against our corporate plan initiatives, and thank you to everyone who has been involved in delivering the initiatives. Some of the key highlights are, recently I've been extremely proud to have opened a specialist 2-bedroomed home, the first of its kind in England, and actually it's absolutely fabulous place. I've been a number of times now and I can't recommend it enough. The home offers 2 placements for children aged 11 to 17 years, providing intensive support for some of the district's most vulnerable young people. This service is unique as it involves the partnership, and once again partnerships are so important for the council, but it involves a partnership between the council and South West Yorkshire Partnership NHS Trust. It will see the enhanced outreach team of Wakefield Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service, or CAMS as we tend to call it, providing a clinical team that is based at the home, something that has not been done before and sets the home apart from as pioneers of this specialist intervention care home. The Summer School 2023 supported the delivery of the Healthy Happy Holidays programme at Aspire in the Park, with a 5-week-long programme supporting our children and young people. This Happy Healthy Holidays programme has been such a boon to the children in this district, those especially that need the extra support and their families, and I hope to be able to fetch a report back here on the success of it this year later. And I would like to thank everyone who's been involved in delivering these wonderful initiatives across children's services, and hopefully we will grow and expand as the years go by. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Margaret. Anyone else? Yeah, just a couple of comments from me on the children's services. The 2-bedroom homes that you've mentioned and the accolades that we've had from that are absolutely outstanding and amazing, Margaret. And I do congratulate Children's Services, Vicky and yourself and the team for all that's been done on that. And then Michelle, on the events, yes, it's going to be our year, but this year, the events that we've had across the district in our towns, the seaside, the licorice, the food, the rhubarb, all the things that we've had have really helped the town centres and made such a difference. And I think if we do as well as we've done this year, with what's coming next year, it will be truly amazing. So thanks very much for that. And with that, I move the report. If we can agree that. Okay. And then item 11 is the Vital Signs Cabinet report, and I'm pleased to share the latest Vital Signs performance report with you today. It's important that we manage our performance and use our resources efficiently. We're working hard to do this and deliver against our priorities to provide value for money to our residents and businesses. You'll see from the report that we set out how we manage and monitor our performance through our performance management framework. I'm really pleased that we've made some positive progress in these areas. However, times are hard, times are challenging, and we're facing significant budget pressures, increasing demand, and a cost of living crisis. And you'll see later, I shall comment more on item 12 on the financial report. I'd like to ask colleagues if you want to comment on this report.
No.
Okay, we can move that report.
Agreed.
Thanks very much. And then item 12 is the financial health report. This report, which can be found on pages 193 to 214, informs Cabinet of the latest forecast position against the revenue budget for the current financial year, which is an overspend of just under 1.5 million. This is a reduction from the previously reported overspend of 4.9 million, which is a positive given that Cabinet colleagues will be aware that the current economic climate continues to have significant impact on the Council and all local authorities, particularly those close to home, and you've all seen about Birmingham and what's happening there. And really, yes, times are tough in local government, and I'm not saying it's not tough for us, but we're not in a financial situation compared to others, and we are working to make sure that we deliver balanced budgets and we're not in a financial difficult situation. It is difficult for people across the piece, and we are getting lots of comments and public asking us, are we about to go bust like other areas? Well, we're not. We're doing all we can. We're a well-managed, as Les has said, we're a well-managed council, and we've been very careful how we do things. We are delivering regeneration and investment across this district for the people that we represent, but we are very prudent with the money and the public purse, and we'll make sure that we deliver for the people without being in a terrible financial situation. It is tough for people in other areas, but we're not in that position. Any comments from anyone? Jack?
Thank you, Leader. Yeah, I fully agree with your comments. It's very tough times at the moment. We know there's been massive austerity from central government in previous years, which is still continuing to impact on local authorities. They've failed to deal with the social care crisis, again, putting the impact on local authorities. So really, it's quite incredible that local authorities are still managing to stay afloat, manage the budgets and invest in their communities. And I just want to echo your thanks to the officers of this authority who've been working really hard to deliver these budget cuts. Let's not forget, monies are still being cut from this authority. If it wasn't for prudent use of reserves and efficiency measures, we would be having to cut frontline services. So thankfully we're not in that section 114 situation, but we'll continue to manage the budget sensibly and efficiently so that we don't ever get there.
Thanks, Jack. Les?
Just briefly, but I think it's important to say, Jack's just mentioned the cuts, and it is important that we've had less and less money, but this council's been innovative, and it's not only looked at cutting back, it's looked at what it can do to develop things in different areas, and I want to promote that as well, I think. And the last few meetings we've had on finance, as well as talking about what we can do with the money we've got, we've also been looking at ways to generate money to do different things differently. And I think that's important that we continue to say that as well, because people out there continually look and say it's cutbacks again, and it is, and unfortunately it is in some areas. But we'd also look at the development and look at the things that we're doing as well. So I want to promote them, and that comes from, and I want to give a big thanks to our staff, because they're the driving force with some of that, and it's pleasing to see, and we need to keep that going. I'm sure we will.
Michelle?
Yeah, I just want to echo some of the comments that Les has said in terms of our innovation. I think we just look at what we've delivered in terms of events and culture things across this summer, whilst also having to deal with an absolute barrage of cuts from central government, not knowing what the next settlement's going to be and how much we have to save each year, because we can't get more than a year's sort of settlement in advance. And I just think it's testament to the leadership of both yourself and Jack, Denise, and to council officers that we're in this position where actually we've got a financial health report which is better than the last, and we're still managing to invest and deliver priorities for people in this district.
Thanks for that, Michelle. Thanks for all your comments. Anyone else? Michael?
Yeah, just to say, you know, recently after what happened with Birmingham, there's a lot of people pointing the finger and saying, oh, a Labour council goes under, Labour council. Well, we know this has happened to councils, no matter who's in control, whether it be Conservative or Labour. I really wish people would put the blame where it should be, at the feet of government, because they are making it extremely impossible. Birmingham was a very well-run council. The leading deputy there did a fantastic job, but there's only so much local authorities can take, and they won't be the last to go under. We'll see more across the country that this will happen to, and it's about time, like Michelle said, they give us a proper future, a proper settlement, and not have us living hand to mouth year on year. Let us know what we're going to get for the next 3 or 5 years so we can properly plan and spend the money efficiently.
Yeah, totally agree, Michael. Anyone else? Okay. Can we agree the report? Thank you. Margaret, Youth Justice Service Annual Plan.
Yes, thank you, Leader. The purpose of this report is to seek Cabinet approval of the Youth Justice Service Annual Strategic Plan and agree that the report and accompanying plan progress to full council in October. As a local authority, we have a statutory duty to submit an annual youth justice plan relating to the provision of youth justice services. 3.1 on the agenda fully outlines our statutory duties under Section 40 of the Crime and Disorder Act 1998. 3.3 outlines the need to sign off the plan at full council. The Youth Justice Management Board have already approved the plan. The plan that presented today outlines our priorities and challenges for the next 12 months. It shows where we were, where we are, and where we want to be. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everyone involved in the production of this report. And with that, I'd like to move the report.
Any comments? Any questions? We're all happy with the report. Thanks very much for that, Margaret. Okay. Item 14 would have been Councillor Cummings' report, but she had another meeting which has overrun. So she's asked me to come forward with a few comments. Really, the purpose of the report is to provide assurance to Cabinet that all organisations involved in health protection cooperate and work together to provide and protect the health of residents for our district. The main areas of protection are outlined in point 1. This is the 6th report and the first following the pandemic. The aim of the report is to update on priorities and achievements. All of those achievements can be found in the report and include the response to COVID and the vaccination programme, which is ongoing, work around sexual health, emergency planning and communications. Maureen and all of us would like to thank Anna and her team for all the hard work they do and continue to do for our residents. And we do wish Anna all the very best in her new role. And we welcome Steve Turnbull into the temporary role of Director for Public Health. The recommendation is to note the content of the report. We're all happy with that? Thanks very much. Yes, people strategy.
Thanks for that, Leader. I think we've started to touch on one or two things what's in the
Yes.
people strategy here, but I think it's important that our people strategy is designed to ensure that our approach to attracting, recruiting, developing, rewarding and retaining our employees is aligned with the council's key strategies and priorities. I think that's important. It's a good statement, and I've seen lots of statements like that in the past from lots of organisations. What I can say is it's more than that. We had a presentation a few days ago on this particular thing, and some of the innovation, I'm going to use that word again, from officers to deliver that and to bring people in, because it is challenging. We all know that everybody's looking for to fill recruitment slots, but not just fill recruitment slots, but to have the right skill within that sort of area that you're looking for. And this people strategy is not only design, it's what we do, and I think that's the most important thing for me. Looking within some of our people, some of our areas, they don't follow it because it's written down here. It's ingrained within Wakefield's strategy and Wakefield's thinking about how we look after our people, our officers, and obviously residents, because this supports our residents. It supports different voluntary groups and different areas. So what I would like to say is option one is our people strategy is designed to ensure that our approach to attracting, recruiting, developing, rewarding and retaining our employees and growing our own employees so that they come through the system is really, really important. So I welcome this, I welcome all the presentation that we've seen, and I welcome the fact that we live it, we actually breathe it and we believe in it. So what I would like to say is, can we approve option one, please?
Thank you, Les. Any comments, Jack?
Thank you, Leader, and thank you, Les, for this report. I fully agree. I think we should be investing in our own people. We'll get the best out of them that way. And I think one of the things we've seen in recent years in local government, critical shortages in key roles for the council, and what the council's been doing and what's acknowledged in this report is using that grow your own, starting off apprentices in those areas so that within a few years we have qualified staff delivering for this authority. I just wanted to draw attention to a statistic on page 336, which is 80% of apprentices achieve qualifications. The government targets 67%, so we're well above that, and that's really good to see. So thank you, Les, and fully support the report.
Anyone else? Okay. Margaret?
It's just going back to the apprenticeships, absolutely wonderful programme, and I'm particularly pleased that we have care leavers coming into the programme and taking really good jobs with it. So yeah, wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
With that, can we agree the report? Agreed. Thank you. And then the risk management framework.
I think this is a really important report, and I've spent some time with our risk colleagues before and after this report was produced, and certainly with my background in risk, I'm really interested in this. What I would say is what the report pulls out is, and we've touched on it here, financial risk, people risk, a number of different risks. And I was really pleased that when I was talking with our risk group, they actually picked out all the risks in detail that we face as an organisation. And it shows the thought that's been put into this report from a risk perspective all the way through. I couldn't offer any other positions than what I saw coming from that group of people. When I saw this report, I fully agree with it all, and I recommend that option one is picked.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Les. Any comments, any questions? We all okay with that? Yep. We agree the report. That concludes the meeting. Thanks very much, everybody.